Hey everybody, Don Murray here with StormMapping.com. Quite a bit of severe weather activity that occurred on Sunday, so we're going to do a little bit of a severe weather recap, looking at all of the activity that occurred across parts of the Midwest and the Ohio Valley using the Storm Mapping WX Pro program. Okay, so what you're looking at here is the overview using all of the data points Storm Mapping WX Pro has to offer. So here we have combined the thunderstorm intensity index, spotter hail reports, spotter wind damage reports, tornado reports, combined with some other enhanced hail tracking data such as the radar detected hail, combined with the live hail detection product that we have using MRMS, which gives us a really good idea as to the intensity and the path width of the hailstorm itself. And we'll be taking a closer look at that, especially across the St. Louis metro area. Okay, so let's dig into this a little bit. We're going to zoom into St. Louis first. We're going to look at this hailstorm that occurred, produced some golf ball size hail throughout a large chunk of the city, especially on the north side. So what we're going to do here is we're going to flip on the satellite view. So we're going to come over here to the map type. Now, what's really cool about storm mapping is you can customize this program to whichever way you want to look at it. So we're going to flip on the satellite view because this gives us a really good idea as to the population density for which this storm impacted. So here you can see, here's St. Louis, here's downtown St. Louis, and you can see this hailstorm track just north of downtown. However, there was still quite a bit of population that was impacted by this storm. So digging into this, we can see here this storm started developing here further to the west. Using our TSI index, we can see where this storm started to originate. And then as it started gaining intensity and building up its strength, that's when it started dumping hail. And we can see here with our MRMS hail detection, this is where the hail started to fall. We can see here a higher intensity of the hail coming across north side of St. Louis. And it looked like here it reached its max intensity as it crossed the Mississippi River here just east of Granite City, where we actually have a 3-inch spotter report. This came in through Twitter into the local National Weather Service there. And that actually matches up really well with the radar detected hail points here. We see a 3.2 radar detected hail point here. Also a couple other radar detected hail points here. Some higher radar detected points of up to 3.7. Some other spotter reports just to the east of St. Louis here, 2.5-inch hail report. So definitely a substantial hailstorm that occurred here across parts of the St. Louis area. We can dig into this a little deeper. Now we're going to go here, we're going to click on this 1 3/4-inch hail report, and we're going to flip on the archived radar. We're going to run through the entire history of this storm. So for $10 a year, you can do everything I'm doing right now with taking a look at the storm history. You can do this on your desktop, you can do this on a mobile device, iPad, Android device, iPhone. We've really made this into a cross-platform, easy to use for hail tracking. We have some awesome GPS tools that we've also built into this, so if you're driving around and looking for hail damaged areas, quite a powerful toolkit. Alright, so let's dig into this a little bit. Alright, first what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to zoom back out, get an overall view of this storm, and we're going to turn off this MRMS hail layer. So we're just going to turn this off, get a good idea. We're going to leave on the other data points so you can see how the radar imagery falls over the path of our other data points. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to flip on this archive slider. What this is going to do is it's going to slide through the radar frames, giving you a really good picture of how this storm evolved. So here's downtown St. Louis, and then here's that storm as it's coming through. Let's back up a little bit. Let's see where this storm starts to originate. So you can see storm doesn't really look all that impressive as we move the frames back a few. But what we're going to do is we're going to move this now into the future. And you're going to see these reflectivity rates really begin to ramp up. So we're going to move this even forward in time and see how the reflectivity rates continue to look impressive. And this is where the hail begins to really start to fall. And then as it starts reaching its max intensity as it crosses the river, let's see what it looks like here over the 3-inch spotter report that occurred here. You can see here a really wide hail core here. This is a very intense storm as it's crossing the river. And then we continue to move off to the east, and you can see the evolution of this storm. And then it eventually begins to die out. We start losing the hail detections, but we still maintain a pretty strong thunderstorm. And this is what the power of our TSI indexes. We still have some wind damage reports, and you can see the tracking of this, so we can still have wind damage well to the east of this, even after the hail. So this is what's really good about this product. It's not just tracking hail, it's tracking the overall evolution of every thunderstorm that occurs within the United States. Okay, expanding the view back out, taking a look at the rest of the activity within the last 24 hours. You can see here we had plenty of activity extending across parts of Illinois, Indiana, and Ohio, even over in the parts of western Pennsylvania into the late evening hours yesterday with some wind damage reports. Probably the most damaging storm of the day was here in east central Indiana, near Portland, Indiana, and then this moved over toward west central Ohio. So this was Jay in Mercer County, where we had some extensive tornado damage, especially here in the town of Salina was hit particularly hard by a damaging tornado. This storm continued to push off to the east-northeast until it eventually weakened. We had some other tornado reports here across parts of northwest Ohio near Sandusky, just to the south of Sandusky. Some tornado reports here. We can click on one of these reports and see what the report was. The Sandusky County Sheriff reported a bedroom destroyed at a residence off State Route 412 near the Sandusky-Erie County line. So these are just one of several reports of severe weather yesterday. So again, yesterday pretty much panned out as we expected, especially within the geographical region where we thought the severe weather was going to occur. We had a couple significant tornadoes, some significant hail events, especially around the St. Louis area. So we've just provided you a pretty good example of how you can use Storm Mapping WX Pro to get a really good extensive overview of severe weather events. So this is within the past 24 hours. You can see pretty much the entire evolution of this severe weather event using our TSI index, spotter reported hail, wind damage reports, tornado reports, and the radar detected, and all the other enhanced hail tracking layers that we provide here with Storm Mapping WX Pro. Storm Mapping is not just an extensive severe weather archive, it is also a very powerful real-time weather visualization tool. You can get your local forecast, weather alerts for any area in the continental United States, access national radar maps, and also local high-resolution maps, taking a look at all of the NextRad towers across the United States. With the map we're currently looking at, you can see here we see snow developing across parts of the upper Midwest with some heavier showers and thunderstorms across the East Coast. So check out stormmapping.com, take a look at all the features that we have to offer. You're not going to find an extensive severe weather archive like Storm Mapping has to offer anywhere else, especially for the price. Now for $10 a year, you get extensive hail data for the past 6 months with all the other weather tracking features that we provide, access on your desktop, your mobile devices. You really just can't beat it. And then if you get our Canvasser package, $20 a month, you get many more different features that we haven't even outlined here. We're going to be doing much more of these little tutorial videos. We'll be using significant weather events to highlight the features of storm mapping, especially as we're going into winter time. There are many different winter tracking tools that Storm Mapping has to offer as well. Okay, everybody, thanks for taking the time to watch this. Take care.